Today I'm going to offer you 5 thoughts to help homeschool moms embrace frustration and overwhelm and choose a growth mindset this upcoming homeschool year. First, this Thursday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, you are invited to a free class to reimagine your homeschool life. This is for the homeschool moms who want this upcoming homeschool year to be all that you want it to be. It's this energy in the summer before you get started that you want to embody all year long. You won't, of course, because no one does, but maybe prolong it a little longer. Maybe embrace it at a point where it is actually getting kind of challenging, like somewhere between that November to February season, the slump season. This Reimagine Your Homeschool classes, this free class, is also available to new homeschool moms if you want to avoid the pitfalls that most homeschool moms fall into eventually. Here are the 5 helpful thoughts for you to embrace frustration and overwhelm. To embrace it, are you serious? Yes, embrace it, because it's going to happen from time to time. So embrace it and plan for it and choose a growth mindset instead. The first thought, acknowledge your emotions as signals. If you want to address your emotions and deal with your big emotions like frustration or overwhelm, you need to recognize that they're natural responses. When you're stepping into a homeschool lifestyle, there's going to be lots of reasons you respond or reasons you react. I'd love to hear what your specific ones are if you want to share them down below. I've written a book because of this one moment, this one thing about dealing with my overwhelm. So consider these emotions as signals. Take a step back, reevaluate your approach, practice a pause between your challenge, your emotional challenge, and whatever stimuli is happening. And then gradually over time, you'll make necessary adjustments. That one thought right there is easier to say than it is to do, and I know it, and you know it, but acknowledging your emotions as signals is the first thought to help you embrace frustration and overwhelm. The second thing is to break down your goals. Instead of trying to tackle all of the uncomfortable feelings that you have at once, break down your intentions into smaller, more manageable steps. So that could be saying which of these big emotions that I'm experiencing, frustration or overwhelm or whatever feeling you have, which one is the one you want to tackle or address? It's easier to focus on one small thing than it is to try to tackle all of it all at once. It feels less overwhelming and also not really useful to give you more things to do on your to-do list as you're already feeling frustrated or overwhelmed, right? So you focus on what is the one thing that I want to focus on. If you spend time on just one thing, you'll discover that over the course of 30 days or 60 days, that things are beginning to feel a bit more manageable. But how do you do that? And here's my third thought. You want to practice self-compassion. There's a reason that if you type self-compassion homeschool moms, I'm the only one, as far as I can see there, that is offering the kind of coaching that I do for us as homeschool moms addressing our big emotions. I hope that changes. And until then, I offer you practicing self-compassion. It didn't come from me. This concept came from Kristen Neff. I actually speak about it in the Homeschool Mama Book Club on my podcast. I've learned about it in my real world. Giving myself self-compassion, nurturing my big emotions, whatever they are, frustration, overwhelm, anything at all, helps me to feel cared for. And sometimes mom needs to be cared for too. Sometimes we need to nurture the nurturer. We need to understand that it's okay to encounter challenges because it's called life. We're going to. It's okay to feel frustrated at times and overwhelmed. It is okay. It really is. If you haven't heard it from anybody else, hear it from me. It doesn't feel good. Of course you don't want to feel it, but it is natural. You're going to feel it, and it's okay that you have moments where you feel frustrated with your kids or overwhelmed by life. You're on a learning journey, a growth learning journey. So remember that growth comes from facing difficulties, not by creating utopia. Plus, anyways, learn from experience. At least from my experience, I've tried to create utopia in my homeschool family life. It didn't work. It wasn't a thing. And no one has the keys to creating it. The fourth thing that I would encourage you to think about as you're trying to embrace frustration and overwhelm is to cultivate flexibility. Embrace the idea that learning and adapting are at the heart of this homeschool lifestyle or this homeschool journey. You might not want to, but you won't have a choice. You're going to have to learn how to be flexible. If you've got more than one kid, you know you need to. If you have any life challenges, you know you need to. If you're trying to homeschool while you're postpartum, you're going to need to. Or if you're trying to homeschool while you have ADHD or challenged by ADHD, you know you're going to have to learn to be flexible. Flexibility is key and really difficult, really difficult for me. It is probably one of the most challenging things that I've had to learn that I don't talk about as much because I'm still learning it, flexibility, but it allows you to, dare I use the word, pivot when you need it, when things don't go as planned, or you discover that you have to approach some family need or some child's need in your family differently, and it's required now, and not 6 months from now. So cultivate flexibility. The fifth thought to help you embrace more homeschool or embrace frustration and overwhelm in your homeschool and choose a growth mindset in your upcoming homeschool year is to celebrate your small wins. It is really easy for us to focus on the things that aren't working. But look at the things that are. Look at how your kids are learning. Excuse me. That was a first. Instead of fixating on what might not be going perfectly, celebrate the things that are. Maybe even make it a thing at the dinner table, or make it a thing as you're doing your morning routine, or read aloud in the afternoon on the sofa, where you're like, what has gone well today? Say it to your kids. Ask your kids what they think. Make it a practice in your life. Some would call this gratitude. Every breakthrough or every win that you have in your homeschool, no matter how small, is a step toward growth and shows your dedication to your homeschool family. It also shows your kids what to focus on. So these are the 5 thoughts that I have to help you embrace frustration and overwhelm and choose a growth mindset. Some of these strategies and me nurturing you through various forms on lives or in group coaching or in my podcast, they're all intended for us to all nurture a growth mindset. You're going to be better equipped for frustration and overwhelm. We both know that they're going to happen, so you might as well plan for it. If you want to learn more, join me over at the Reimagine Your Homeschool Life class on Thursday, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.